All right, in June, I made $1 million. I became internet rich, so I'm quitting. It's been fun. Nice to see you. Bye. I'm just kidding. But we're gonna talk numbers. If this is your first time here, we're a small homesteading channel with about 5,000 subscribers. More on that later. My garden is looking pretty fly, despite the fact that I have been gone for 2 weeks. All right, so once a month, I'm trying to sit down and talk about the numbers, because a lot of times online, the only channels that are sharing their numbers are channels that teach you how to do well at YouTube. And that is not this channel, let me tell you. So, channels about homesteading, gardening, whatever I want to talk about. Hang on. First of all, coffee for you. Last month, I explained that my biggest struggle is consistency, always has been. You can go back and look about all of that. But starting in May, I decided that I was gonna get serious and really start to focus and put out a lot more videos. That's the beginning of my channel starting doing well. So my consistency has been not consistent at all. There was no consistency. Sometimes I would post a lot of videos, sometimes I post 0 videos. In March and April, I kind of ended up posting 2 videos a week and made about 40 bucks a month. Then in May, I decided to get serious about it and I posted 20 videos and I made $161 that month. And I really buckled down and I was like, we're gonna see growth, we're gonna stick with this. So in June, that's the month we're talking about, that was last month, I kept up my posting schedule and it ended up being 14 videos, but that's because at the end of the month I left town. I went to go visit my mom and some other stuff that I will talk about at the end of this video if you are interested. With those 14 videos, this is crazy. So before I started taking stuff seriously, I was getting about 9,000 views a month. That gave me my 40 bucks, 9,000 views. In May, I got almost 34,000 views, and that gave me the 161. So 34,000. In June, last month, I got 245,000 views, and I gained 1,157 subs. This is a huge jump up from normal. So I went from about 4,000 subs to 5,000 subs in 1 month. I almost 10 times my views, and my revenue reflected that. I'll just tell you right off the bat. I made $1,059.15 last month. $1,000 just purely from AdSense on this channel. So I want to tell you what happened. I do believe that consistency is part of it. It definitely brought more people and more people were watching my videos, but I'm not gonna lie, it was not just the regular homesteading stuff. I started sharing about real estate. I had one video in particular that super took off. It was a farm auction that I went to. It has almost 108,000 views. People really liked it. I really liked it. It was interesting. I had gone to another auction that I also did really well. So my top performing videos right now actually are all in kind of the real estate sphere. I have 2 auction videos, 1 walkthrough, and I also posted up some off-market properties that I went to look at. In case you didn't know, that's actually what our job is. Homesteading is not my job. It does not pay the bills. Real estate pays the bills. So since this is kind of just about my life, and I started sharing things that I was that I'm doing in my regular life, that I also thought would be interesting to someone who's searching for a homestead. We currently own 5 acres. We plan on upgrading at some point in time and getting more property. I know that will probably be done by buying an off-market property using our real estate knowledge. So I'm always on the lookout for a bigger property. So I figured, why not film it while we're going to these things? So those are doing really well, and people started asking more questions about auctions and off-market properties, and I realized that there's a lot of stuff that people just don't even know. So I actually made a video about HUD houses, and that's gonna be a 3-part video. So I'm gonna put out the next one later. Here's the thing, I didn't want this to be a real estate channel. I wanted this to be a homesteading channel, but really it's a my life channel and what people are interested and what I'm interested in channel, I guess. I'm not just gonna box myself in and be like, no, I'm only going to talk about gardening and chickens. Like, I'm not gonna do that. So there's definitely a need for some of this information. I found out through the comments that people were, for instance, paying for lists of HUD houses, which is a readily available free online thing that you can get. You do not need to be paying someone to give you a list of HUD houses. And actually, if you're doing that, you're kind of, I don't want to say you're doing it wrong, but you're missing an opportunity, because part of buying HUD houses is striking at the right time. So that's a whole other video, blah, blah, blah. So let's pull it back in. Number one, I am overjoyed and thrilled at the fact that I made $1,000 last month. That was amazing. And I was like, holy moly, like this could actually be a real thing that makes real money. Like $1,000 that's real money. At the same time, it kind of messed with me mentally, not gonna lie. I was trying to put out a lot of videos because I felt like that is what a YouTuber would do. They put out like a video every single day. And I gotta tell you, it was really hard because filming the video, coming up with ideas, even though I'm just like, hey, look at my plants, whatever, like there is some thought process behind it. And then editing actually takes time. And I have 3 kids, and I have a homestead, and we have a job, and all this stuff. So it was kind of getting to me. I eventually reached out. I am in a Facebook group online called the Homesteaders of YouTube, and it has all the homesteaders that are on YouTube. Not all of them, but like a lot of them. And it's a good resource for getting information. And I gotta tell you, I wanted to reach out and ask for help or something, but I hesitated. It took me days. It took me a long time to even think of what to say because I was so worried that I was just being weak. I was like, why can't I do this? Everyone else has this down. Everyone's doing this. If I say like, hey, how are you guys putting out so many videos? It's really affecting me mentally and I don't have the time. I thought like, she's so weak and bad. Look at her. Ugh. Like that's how yeah, great self-talk that I have. So I thought that was what was going to happen. That's not what happened. People responded and said like, do what's sustainable, like obvious advice. Do what's sustainable. Posting every day is not sustainable. They also said, have you actually looked at your people that you're seeing are posting every day? Are they really posting every day? And I did end up going and looking and like, no, they're actually not. I think because, you know, you follow so many people, it feels like they're posting every day. Not everyone posts every single day. And the other thing that they said was kind of like, instead of looking at quantity, why don't you look at quality? And I gotta tell you, I was already in a bad headspace. So basically I read that and part of me was like, that makes sense. And the other part of me was like, they're saying your videos are crap. They are so bad. And like most people hadn't even looked at my videos. It was just a general piece of advice, but that's the way I took it. So what ended up happening is I needed a break. This is something I've run into before where I'll start posting a whole lot and being like, I'm gonna do this. And then it gets overwhelming and then I just go away and don't post anything. And I really didn't want that to happen. This break coincided with me going out of town, so that was fine. And I did try to put up like a community thing saying, hey, I'm still alive. I haven't fallen off the face of the earth like I've done in times past. I'm just on vacation. So I think it went reasonably well. I'm coming back with a better headspace. Another thing that was kind of messing with me was the fact that so many more people were watching my videos. Nobody was saying anything bad. Nothing like that. It's not like a bunch of people came on and were like, you're fat and ugly and stupid. Like that did not happen. I think it was just there's just a weird mental thing all of a sudden being about, 245,000 views in 1 month. It was a large jump up. A lot more people were putting eyes on my video. And I think that was messing with me too. So I kind of was like, I just want to go live in the mountains and never see another person. Don't look at me. Nobody look at me. Like that's how I felt. So that was great. So there's a lot of maturing and mental stuff that comes with YouTube. I can't imagine the people who actually like blow up, like what it must do to their psyche. I would think that you'd have to already be in a really good headspace to be able to handle that, because if I freaked out of just getting like 5,000, having 5,000 subs, I can't imagine people who blow up and all of a sudden have like hundreds of thousands of people watching their stuff. So that was last month. If you're wondering what kind of money you can make doing YouTube and what it's like, This is just where I'm sharing every month, like what kind of money. I feel the money will probably not be the same. The views will probably go down because I feel like a lot of those views and the money came from the auction videos. So they've kind of run their course. I'm sure it's going to come back down and even out, which in some ways sad because the money might not be as great next month, but in some ways good because it'll be more of the normal people watching my videos, and I think I'll feel a little bit like better about it. If you are a homesteader with a YouTube channel, please feel free to reach out. And especially if you are struggling with any of these same things, it helps to know that you're not alone. And that's what I'm hoping to put out with these is I don't want to be like, I made this money and here are my analytics, but also be like, this is kind of some of the stuff that came up for me with this. And at this size channel, this is kind of what I'm feeling. This is what I'm doing. So yeah, that's about it. Enjoy your coffee. Thanks for stopping by, and I'll catch you later.